Yo YouTube, what's going on? AJ here, back at it again with another video. And in today's video we're going to be doing the 1.2 tier list. Yes guys, and there are some changes to the tier list and different qualifications I want to go by. So guys, what I'm going to do is, as you guys can see, we have OP tier, we have S tier, we have A tier, B, C, and D. What I'm going to be doing is, guys, there's no left to right order. Basically, when I place a character, so let's take Rover, like Rovers for example. If I put Rover here, let's say the Spectro Rover, and I put Havoc Rover here, right? I'm not saying one's better than the other. I'm saying this is the value that they're at right now. These units are of S tier value. I'm going to be putting these units based on just their value, and now I'm going to put them in that category. There's no left to right. There's no this unit is better than the next unit, because we'd be here and talking for a while, and I'm pretty sure a lot of us know which ones are the best unit. But I do want to give you guys the 1.2 tier list. I do want to give you guys details and reasons as to why. I don't want to give you guys boring notes. I want to be quick about them, easy. That way, if you're a new player, if you're a player that's reoccurring who wants to see how the meta is shaped up or anything like that, I can give you guys the advice, what I think, as well as being somebody who's play tested all these characters. So without further ado, my name is AJ. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe on the channel, and let's get into the video. And like how we just said, let's start off with Rover. Let's use the female Rover as a Spectro, and we will put her in the A tier. Now, with Rover being Spectro, a good sub DPS unit, good support unit, can do some healing when you get all the little resonance chains. Just a solid all-around unit, guys. I mean, I don't see her dropping yet until we really get like a Spectro like sub DPS, but who knows when that's going to be, and that might be a little while. So if you guys do like playing with Spectro Rover, then hey, easy unit, great unit, fun unit, very friendly to build up. And I mean, it's the first unit we get and we start with, and Kuro hasn't missed. Now let's talk about Havoc Rover. Havoc Rover to me is in a little bit of a weird spot. So where do I place Havoc Rover? Havoc Rover is an S tier, guys. Now, why am I saying Havoc Rover is in a weird spot? Aside from him being a solid damage dealer, or they being a solid damage dealer, you guys have to consider the fact that Rover in this current situation, right, could eventually be here, but end up here. Why am I talking about that? Well, in the future, guys, and we're going to see how the meta shapes up, this character who we're not going to rank because she hasn't been officially revealed, most likely is going to be a Havoc unit. The question is, what direction does Kuro want to go for the meta? Are we going to go with dual DPS, and that's going to be the new thing? Just kind of like how Changli has, how Changli is a main DPS, but she enables the dual DPS playstyle. Is Camilla going to be able to do even more damage than Changli and enable a dual DPS, or is she going to be a sub DPS and buff the Havoc units and also make Rover powerful? Either or, right? These two, I'm talking about Rover and Camilla, are going to be like peanut butter jelly. That's just my gut feeling going forward, guys. Eventually, when we get the announcement for Camilla, if she is going to be Havoc. And so we could have a situation where Rover is here right now, but in the future, guys, do not be surprised if Havoc Rover ends up here. Next, let's talk about Chixia. Chixia is someone who I would have put in B tier, but due to Changli and her being one of Changli's best units, easily in A tier. Solid unit, guys. You guys have seen it with Changli. People who are either using Chixia or Encore are just pulling off crazy combos. They're learning crazy cancel tech and pulling off amazing stuff with her. She's also the only real character I feel like that can fully utilize Changli's buffs and the downtime. So amazing unit, solid A tier, 4-star, really good. Same with Yangyang. Easy investment, good CC, guys, good energy regeneration if you guys need it and want to use ult. Again, we lack a lot of CC characters in the game, guys, in general. Just like huge CCs, like Jiyan's really the only one who can CC, and excuse me, not the only one. Jiyan and Jianxin are the only real CCers besides Yangyang, you know what I mean, that can do it at that rate with their wind abilities and stuff like that. Moving on, let's get to Baizhi. Baizhi, I will say, guys, she's an A tier right now as a healer, but with Baizhi, there is a little bit of concern, I would say. I do think that a lot of you guys, if you have Verina, should already be building Verina, because actually is better than Baizhi. And with Shorekeeper's announcement, guys, for 1.3, right now having Baizhi's A tier, do I recommend you invest in Baizhi? If you don't have Verina, sure, okay, go ahead and do that, but I do recommend then Shorekeeper is a must pull for you guys. If you do have Verina, then I don't think this unit is really A tier. I think after Shorekeeper's announcement, her being a sustainer and she's going to be able to do more crazy things than just being a sustainer, I think Baizhi is going to move down to the B tier, in my opinion. But for now, I'm going to leave her in A because I don't know everybody's account situation, and I think she is the second best sustainer in the game, obviously. Next, let's talk about Sanhua. Now, Sanhua, I thought there would be changes. I thought there would be more 4-star announcements earlier. Not in 1-3. I thought we'd get one in 1-2. I thought maybe potentially she would have gotten power creep. Maybe we would have get better version of her. But no, Sanhua is a solid S tier unit. Seriously, guys, she's really good. She does great damage, has great supportive capabilities. She doesn't even stay on field for that long, guys, and you can quickly switch and with your rotations with her. Super solid unit, I would say. Very versatile. Sanhua is in the S tier. Yanwu, I feel like almost this one's a tough one because I feel like the few Yanwu people who do like Yanwu, don't have Yinlin and stuff like that, really like him, you know what I mean? But I think for Yanwu, the only reason why I'm gonna put him in B tier, guys, I think with him is the fact that how niche he really is, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people aren't gonna go out their way to use Yanwu unless you didn't get Yinlin, you know what I mean? But even then, you know, I will give him some leverage. I'll put him in A. I will say that if you did miss out on Yinlin, we have the rumors of the reruns coming around, so that's your guys' time to go for maybe a Yinlin if they are going to start the reruns or not. We don't know officially. If they haven't, then like I said, Yanwu is your second best option for that sub DPS electro role if you don't have Yinlin. So moving on now, we have Taohqi. Taohqi is a little bit weird one. I'm gonna put Taohqi in B tier. While Taohqi, if you were to look at the meta comps in the game, and she does give resonant skill, like a good amount in a huge chunk of it, and has that parry mechanic, right? The issue with Taohqi, I would say, is that most players feel that even though you can max her resonance chains out, her playstyle is clunky, guys. It doesn't feel as fun or comfortable to use on a team comp, even though she gives buffs to characters like Jinhsi and Changli, who are the top of the line meta units. I feel like playstyle, ease of use, guys, how easy a character to play is a big factor in this game. If you can be OP and easy to play, that's ridiculously high value, you know what I mean? Unfortunately with Taohqi, she has good things going for her, but her kit just feels too clunky and not enjoyable, and I think most players would agree, but I'm not going to harp on her too much, and I'm going to leave her at B tier. Okay, next we have Danjiin. Danjiin just requires a little bit more skill to play than other DPSs, but if none of the 5-star DPSs you're sold on right now, you need a free-to-play option to clear the game, and I know there are people like you. Yes, Camilla wanters, yes, Scar Savers, yes, Geshu Lin wanters. I'm a Geshu Lin wanter, but obviously I pull for all the characters, make content on them. But I know some of you hardcore ones are still out there. If you need a character, Danjiin S tier easy. Clears everything. I brought up Fob Master before, and I'll say it again. Fob is one of the biggest whales in gacha games. Pulls for a lot of the units, you know, has copies and stuff like that, yada yada yada. The thing is too, even Fob went out his way, loved Danjiin and was just clearing content with Danjiin. I don't think Danjiin's really fallen off at all. I think she's still in the same spot as she is. We'll see when the future comes, because I do know that we will eventually get a 5-star version of her character. No, guys, it's not no spoiler or no leak or anything like that. It's something like that. It's just common sense. These gacha games, they go off of certain characters the way they're built, and if there's a 4-star version of that character, there's most likely going to be a 5-star version that's even better in the future. But as of now, we don't know the timeline of when they would ever do that. So Danjiin, I would say, just requires a little bit more skill to use. High risk, high reward playstyle. S tier easy. We have Aalto. Aalto, I'm going to put in B tier. Aalto, the thing with him is he's the one I played and experimented with the least. I feel like any team comp that you would use or recommend Aalto in, the issue with Aalto is that, like, I feel like the devs kind of undercooked with him. I feel like he should be better in multiple regards. He's a very cool character, guys, and his animations are amazing. But any team comp you can practically mention with a meta character, they kind of already have a better teammate, a premium teammate, you would say, like, that's higher than him. So he's not mainly your first choice. He's not going to be your second choice on these team comps. But if you like Aalto and you like to play with them, guys, I still think he's good enough, you know, honestly. And I know I'm not saying the left and right thing, but honestly, if we really wanted to, I would recommend using Aalto over Taohqi if you enjoy playing with Aalto in certain cases. I'm not saying they do the same thing. I'm just saying, who's more fun to play? Aalto's more fun to play. Next up, Mortefi. Where do we rank Mr. 3000 IQ? Okay, easily before, and I've thought about this hard and long, he's easily an S tier. Mortefi to me, guys, is Jiyan's right-hand partner. You know what I mean? It's kind of like if you play Honkai Star Rail, you have Jinhsi, you have Ting Yu. You know what I mean? They're inseparable. There are certain characters that are right now are inseparable. And for me, it feels like Mortefi, that's how he feels with Jiyan. Good buffs. Good. You can quickly use him and then get off the field, man. There's not really anybody who does anything with heavy attack either. And it's like, it's crazy because I keep thinking, I'm like, you know, with the sub DPSs coming out, are we going to get another sub DPS? Because where do they classify completely Jianxin from? Because Jianxin to me is an arrow sub DPS support unit, but she doesn't technically really buff Jiyan. She has Resonance Liberation. We're going to get to her and talk about something interesting with her in a second. But Mortefi, like I said, Jiyan being one of the best OP DPSs in the game, him being his best right-hand partner, S tier easily, and he's versatile into other team comps. Next, we have Encore. What do I think about Encore? Now, guys, I've said this before. After the release of Changli, Encore easily S tier. Now, I know I'm not doing left to right, but I would say, though, Encore out of all the S tier characters is the best S tier in my opinion. I'm going to keep it that way, so I'm just going to say that, but I'm not really doing left to right, but that is truly my opinion, guys. Encore right now, after Changli's release, enables the dual DPS comps. So if you're not using Chixia, you never really want to use Chixia. If you master the Encore and Changli rotation, guys, it's a huge chunk of damage. On top of that, I think we've all noticed from the standard 5-star selector and the standard 5-star characters, aside from Verina, who's your best choices, right? It's Jianxin or Encore. But honestly, I would say, guys, if you need to make a choice and you're a new player and you're looking for a DPS unit that's easy and quickly you can build up and just shreds everything, just take Encore. Literally the second best standard unit in my opinion, but the best DPS standard unit. The best unit still on the standard banner is Verina. Okay, moving on to Lingyang. What do I think about Lingyang, guys? Lingyang mains. I want you guys to listen to me carefully, and I want anybody who is interested about my take on Lingyang to hear this out. Now, Lingyang, he's an A tier to me, guys, but I want everybody to hear carefully. So I've seen people like 1010 clear the middle floor before with Lingyang, and he posted a screenshot about it a couple weeks ago in Tower of Adversity. My thing with Lingyang is, guys, this is the patch where he's getting the most indirect buffs. What do I mean by that? Number one, Lingyang is going to be getting Zhezhi, who's going to buff him and make him stronger. Number two, Lingyang is getting another buff with Xiangliyao's Gauntlet. So what I'm saying is we could have a Lingyang who is in the low A. He's potentially now, after we get to the end and we get to the second half of phase 2, where we have the weapon that we can pull on finally, and we have Zhezhi built up, we could see Lingyang go from like a low A to like a high A. And the crazy thing is, there's maybe potential for him to be here. That's, I think, a little bit stretching it. I'm going to say potential, though, because we don't know, guys. Like, people can do calcs all they want, but one thing people have to understand, you're fighting a boss has to hit you, and this is a very active, you know what I mean, game, an interactive game, and you gotta like still fight back and stuff like that. That being said, Lingyang mains, for now, he's in low A, but keep in mind, Zhezhi, Gauntlet, right? You either have him in high A, potentially low S in the future, okay? And that's in a couple weeks from now. So The wait's not long, Lingyang mains, I will say. Next up, we have our boy Calcharo. I've had a conversation with a buddy earlier today, right? And we talked about Calcharo and Xiangliyao, guys. So if I was to say, who do I recommend? Who is the better unit? Is Cal the better unit or is Xiangliyao the better unit? I love Calcharo. He was my first standard 5-star unit, guys. I love him with all my heart. But that being said, he's not better than Xiangliyao, and he is an S tier. The problem with Calcharo is, guys, you have to understand that to get his optimal damage, you have to work for it. You know what I mean? And you have to really work. And the thing is, a lot of the times, harder bosses, guys, don't give you that opportunity to do Calcharo's maximum potential, cancel certain animations, switch between him and Yinlin at certain moments. They will hit and they will interrupt. That was one of the big thing with Changli when people first were talking about her. Now, obviously, we found out new mechanics for Changli, cancel mechanics, and people now have played and tested with her, and she was amazing. But I feel like what Cal should have been, and a lot of people don't understand this about Calcharo, he was nerfed before launch day. They did like last second changes. I still don't understand why Calcharo got nerfed. The dev team really, like, that was a confusing decision by them. Maybe it was because they were going to give Xiangliyao for free. Who knows? I really don't know, guys. But, yeah, Cal, man, really sucks to see him in this state. And we're just getting a better Electro main DPS. Next, we have Jianxin, Miss Jack of all trades. Where do I think Jianxin goes? Her being able to CC, her being an amazing sub DPS, her having the built-in parry mechanic that's easy to, you know, if you're not good at parrying, you can just knock off a boss real quick, you know, get that opening, and then being a shielder on top of that. She's a jack of all trades, guys. Jack of all trades are normally 8s out of 10s, you know what I mean? They're normally 8-tier characters, but she does everything at a 9, okay? You invest in her, you're never going to be disappointed. Easily an S tier unit, guys. Very good unit. I know people were doing posting about her when the game first was out, but she's lived up to her expectation. She's went above and beyond, guys, and it just makes me happy to see Jianxin thriving, and it looks like it's going to stay that way because I really don't know another character who's a jack of all trades that's that good. Next up, okay, now we're down to our really heavy hitters, and I'm going to just talk about them, but I'm going to put them in the same category, and I'll explain. Jinhsi, guys. Jinhsi, our first OP tier character, and I do think she is the most OP character in the game. Is she the most valuable character in the game? No, that still is Verina until Shorekeeper comes out, and then we're going to have a conversation about where I rank characters. But Jinhsi for the DPSs is, and a lot of people who may try to argue, oh no, it's Jiyan, oh no, it's Changli, guys. I want to explain to you guys something, that Zhezhi coming out is already buffing Jinhsi. Jinhsi is doing the most amount of damage, and she's just ridiculous. She nukes everything. She nukes everything. If you play her right, you nuke everything. The game is on easy mode. The fact that we're getting a dedicated character now that's going to be buffing her, Changli, Lingyang or whatever, but just her and Changli, who are meta OP units. Now we're getting a sub deep. Let's talk about Zhezhi when we get there, you know what I mean? But we all know she's a nuke, okay, and she just got a buff. And if Shorekeeper, I'm gonna let you guys know from the rumors that we hear, if Shorekeeper is a different element and it's not a Spectro element, it's really going to be hard, guys, to like power creep her and her team comp. We're really gonna need another 3 units, or Jiyan or Changli are going to need another unit to come out that would supercharge them, or we're going to need some sort of broken DPS, like potentially a Yinlin or Scar to come out to boost another team, or like build another team to compete with the Jinhsi team. But yeah, super strong DPS. Verina, most valuable unit in the game until Shorekeeper comes out, because then, you know, you'll have another alternative option. Verina saves everybody. If you have a Verina, you guys understand. Ridiculous amount of healing, gives buffs. You're down to like low HP. You can go from 0 to 100 so fast and get back up in the fight. She's just a lifesaver, guys. Great quality character to have. If I was to recommend a character to start off with that's not a DPS or anything like that, that you need, or who's the character you need to go after you got your DPS, grab that Verina if it's possible in any other way. Next up, Changli. Changli has been an interesting case. A lot of people did not understand, even though I've said it multiple times. Changli is a main DPS who enables the dual DPS playstyle. She's probably going to get a future sub DPS, like a fusion sub DPS unit, and her playstyle, guys, and her team comps, I really do think in the future, when you master it, there's not going to be really a sustain for her team comp. It's really going to be her, another DPS, and a sub DPS, and you're going to have a really offensive team comp that just is rapidly attacking, and you're switching between the characters, you know what I mean? That being said, people have been playing with her. I've played with her a lot. She's OP. She's busted, guys. Very fun, good unit when you master her. And I'm glad that Kuro made a character like Changli, because it's showing like, hey, if there's players who want like a higher skill ceiling, and they want to master that and be rewarded with that, she is fun to play. Now, with that being said, does that knock people who want something easier to play and is just as strong as that her? No. And that brings my point about Jiyan. Jiyan is very easy to play. He's very strong, and he's got the monster AoE grouping ability in this game for multiple waves of enemies. So where does Jiyan rank? I would say Jiyan is literally the same with Changli. Like, if this was like not like left to right, and obviously I told you guys it's not left to right order. If I could put these two like together, you know what I mean? Like, it just really depends on you. I feel like if you guys are like wanting to know which of these two units you should get, there's no wrong choice. It's just, who do you want? If you want something that has a little bit of a higher skill ceiling and quicker burst, you go with Changli. If you want, and Changli, by that, guys, is a 0 to 100 unit. That's what I mean. You get her up, you quickly burst. Jiyan, at the start of the fight, 100 miles per hour. You pop that ult 100 miles per hour. So they're both a tie for me. This guy you want to fight with a lot on field. This person, while she is on field a lot, she quickly then can get swapped, and you can utilize another DPS, and then you can bring her back, but she just quickly bursts. So, but big bonus for Jiyan is that he can also parry everything in his ult easy, you know what I mean? And that, I think, is an amazing quality about him as a DPS. And for mobile players, I think this is very underrated. I think if you're a mobile player right now, if you were to ask me which character would you want to play, well, unless you don't want your fingers to be sideways, annoying, and twisted, I'd rather play as Jiyan if you're a mobile player than I would as Changli. But they're both tied, you know what I mean? I play on my PC. Both are equal. Let's move on. Yinlin. Now we're down to our final two, guys. Yinlin is easily an OP tier. And Yinlin, guys, is that Electro sub DPS. Anything that's Electro, so like with Xiangliyao, she's bringing these units up higher, and she gives Resonance Liberation buffs, which is amazingly huge for what he's going to want. Aside from her being that pure pro electric, she's so versatile on so many team comps, guys, and she's really good doing the off-field damage, right? And that's the thing with Yinlin and these sub DPS units. They're some of the most busted units in the game, that they cover a section, a category of characters they're going to buff, as well as their element raising that character. So yeah, she's an OP tier. Now let's talk about what we want to end off with, the bread and butter Zhezhi. Where am I going to put Zhezhi? Where do I think she deserves to be, guys? Guys, I will say now, and some Yinlin mains may look at me a different way, but I'm going to say this right now. I think Zhezhi is an OP tier. I do believe, in my honest opinion, she is better, and she is going to be, in my opinion, more valuable than Yinlin, and I want to explain that right now. Currently in this game, we're going to have this discussion more in depth about 1.2 in the second half, when we get Xiangliyao and when we get Yinlin, and we'll see when those two how much damage they can put out. The reason why I say Zhezhi is like better than Yinlin, guys, she does ridiculous amounts of damage, you know what I mean? Just her personal damage and her off-field damage is going to be crazy. And the fact that she gives buffs, guys, she's giving skill buff, you know, skill damage buff, and she's giving a little bit of energy back too. to your DPS and stuff like that is incredible. And the skill buff too, the fact that it's going to Jinhsi, the fact that it's going to characters like Changli, who are the top 3 meta DPSs. Yes, it's Jinhsi, it's Jinhsi, it's Jiyan, Changli in a tie, literally. So like I said, Jinhsi 1, Jiyan, Changli are tied exactly for 2. The fact that she buffs, right, 2 of them, like the 2 of the 3 top DPSs, right? And what they want is that skill damage boost on top of giving energy, as well as doing amazing off-field damage, and her personal damage can get stronger with her weapon too, is so damn good. I think people underestimate her. I think people were looking at her design right from the beginning before we got the trailers, right? And we're like, but as we see in the trailers, guys, as we see in the animations, people are starting to grow on her, guys. And if you're looking at a meta perspective, she's going to challenge Yinlin. So what's going to end up happening is one of 2 things. Either she's going to be in a tie for equal value for Yinlin, or she just will be that powerful and superior because of how strong Jinhsi is too. And the thing is, guys, if Shorekeeper is busted too, right, then her Jinhsi, Shorekeeper, if Shorekeeper is a different element, it's the best comp in the game too, on top of that, going forward. But yeah, if you also don't have a Yinlin and you need a sub DPS, and you pull for this character, which is Jinhsi, and you pull for this character, Changli, I feel like at this point, if you don't have Yinlin either, this is a must pull unit. Like, you need some sort of sub DPS. Like, these characters are busted, and their long-term value, they have the highest long-term value out of any characters in this roster. Yes, Verina may be busted right now, but when Shorekeeper comes out, if Shorekeeper does more, is a better sustainer and does more than her, Verina's value goes down. Not like, oh, Verina's not an OP. Verina's still an OP. You do want 2 sustains for now, but again, guys, these characters aren't going anywhere. They're a staple. They're a pillar to every team comp, Yinlin and Zhezhi, and you can just swap out the other characters, you know what I mean? But these guys are a pillar or an engine to certain team comps. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below, what do you guys think of my tier list? Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you like my tier list. Also, guys, if you guys can see right here, obviously we'll talk about Xiangliyao when he releases, and then we'll talk about changes to the tier list in the second half of 1.2. And yeah, guys, 1.3, we have the final character for the Powerpuff Girls. We'll see if that comp's really meta. I do believe it is, because 2 out of the 3 are already ridiculously overpowered. And we have everybody's probably the most hyped character in a little bit, that is confirmed, excuse me, guys, because obviously Camilla and all the other characters are not confirmed. But yeah, Shorekeeper will be coming, and I'm excited to talk about her in the future for 1.3. Yeah, that's it for this one, guys. It's been your boy AJ. Thank you guys for staying with me. Thank you guys for the support. We're almost at 3K, I think like 5 subs away. I love you guys. Peace.